One of the cornerstones of financial analysis is that the timing of cash flows must be recognized. A dollar earned in 3 years is not equal in value to a dollar held today. In order to equate the two, we use time value analysis. In this video, I will give examples of compounding and discounting. The idea behind time value analysis is that a dollar today is not the same as a dollar 3 years from now. And the difference is the investment rate, or what you would have earned on that dollar had you invested it. If you put the dollar into the bank, it's the interest rate. If you invest the dollar, it has a return rate. So when we move from the present value, which is the value today, to the value in the future, the difference is going to be the increase in payments that are associated from interest rate payments. And moving from present to future, essentially left to right, is known as compounding. And moving from the future to the present in the opposite direction, from right to left of this diagram, is known as discounting. So let's go through an example of how to do compounding, calculating future values. If we have $100 today and our interest rate is 10%, what is the value after 1 year? If you just think about it, you're going to earn 10% off that $100. So the value after 1 year should be 100 times 1.1. So it's going to be $100 plus the $10 that is the interest payment, which gives us $110. What is the future value in year 2? Well, that's whatever the money was worth in year 1 plus the additional interest payment. So it's going to be $110 plus the interest payment on top of that. So 10% of 110, 11, which gives us 121. Now, I want to look at that math a bit more carefully because it will allow us to extract a formula which will be very helpful. We know that the future value in year 1 is the present value times 1 plus the interest rate. To get the future value in year 2, we take the present value times 1 plus the interest rate times 1 plus the interest rate. We can rewrite this more succinctly to future value equals present value times 1 plus the interest rate squared. We can then figure out the future value in 3 years by multiplying the present value by 1 plus the interest rate cubed. You should start to see that the 1 plus interest rate is raised to the power equal to the number of years. We can generalize this with the formula on the left. Future value to n years equals the present value times 1 plus the interest rate raised to the power of n. If we are given the future dollar amount and want to discount it back to the present value, we do a little bit of rearranging of the formula and we get that the present value equals the future value in year n divided by 1 plus interest to the nth power. When using this formula, we see that if in year 3 we had $100, the present value of that is actually just 100 divided by 1.1 to the third power, and that equals 75.13. So having $75.13 today being compounded at a 10% interest rate will give us $100 in 3 years. And having $100 in year 3 discounted at a 10% interest rate will give us $75.13 today. Make sure you understand the time value of money. We will be using these concepts in the next video when we are calculating net present value and internal rate of return.